Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to the semi-finals of SATAC Cold War. Today we have the 51st PVO facing off against the 28th Squadron Vanguards in what is promising to be a clash between two very experienced teams. First things first is we need to roll the dice. Let's make sure that we can see that. That in itself is always a dice roll. There we go. It's only on caucuses today, and we have rolled one. Perfect. That's the map we're already on. And the 28th have picked heads. Which means 51st PVO is going to be picking the starting side. Let me just set up the server and we'll restart the mission. Alright guys, well I hope you're all doing well. I know that some of you will be watching the match that's going on currently between... is Mika still going? Yes, PTF versus the 76th SOS, Snow Out Squadron, and PTF is very good as well. So no doubt that will be good. Okay, cool. And get all of our external equipment running, including TAC View. Welcome in, King Bailout. Dope. Let's go. And we can switch over to the map we all know and love. Welcome in, everyone, to the SATAC semi-finals. It is Sochi versus Mozdok. A tale as old as time. We have seen many epic battles happen here. Both of these teams currently being guided by human GCI. A key point to note, because it does make a lot of the finding quite difficult, especially in these aircraft with no data link. And it looks like the 51st PVO are surprising no one with their selection of MiG-29s. Welcome in, Mika VT. I hope your match went well. Can you give us a rundown what happened? I'll shout out Mika VT. Fortunately, there is a big stream delay, so in the interest of fairness, I'm sure that'll take a little while to arrive. In the lineup, some familiar names. We have Mad Dog, Stinger, Black Pixel, B-Spars, Trout, and Technotinium lined up for the 51st. Meanwhile, on the blue side, I'm going to issue an order. Please start up and line up. Report when ready. Alright, so we have Alamo's Nail in an F-16, Ram and Killer Dog coming in F-14As, Cougar, Amber, and Elytro opting for the MiG-29 to round out the pack. Here we have Nail in a very, very handsome camouflage. Stalker 2 is beating MSFS in a big way. I'm not surprised, because of those two games, Stalker 2 is the better made. Alright. The F-14s. One in black, one in grey. And a triple deck of MiG-29s, all of which are deciding to bring R-27Rs. So no heat seekers just yet. None of the members of the 51st quite started just yet. Technotinium leads the pack. And MiG-29s one and all. R-27R, 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 R-27Rs, R-20. So not a single, despite the fact that there are 9 MiG-29s spawning in, not a single one of them is bringing the R-27T, which is an interesting choice. Hopefully I remember how all of my plane and camera controls work. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Your precious tomcats. Okay, those are the MiG-29s of the 51st starting up. A Soviet-themed squadron. So we'll feel right at home in these mean machines. It's worth keeping an eye on them because they tend to do formations quite closely. So we'll see what their taxiing is like. You think the Tomcats would be enough to carry them to victory? We'll see. The 51st wiped out an all Tomcat team in their opening match. That's very true. Off they go. Meanwhile, looks like the members of the 51st are getting in position. Leading the way. One of their MiG-29s. With Nail's F-16 following along behind. Two more MiG-21s. And then one of the two Tomcats. It's like the 51st is lining up in no short order. No surprises there. These guys are pros. And the organisers of the competition. So, for the 28th, Cougars leading the way, followed by Nail, then Elytro, Amber, Killer Dog, and Ram. Meanwhile, on the red side, we have Technotinium, Trout, Black Pixel, BSB Spars, Mad Dog, and Stinger. Both teams ready. Both teams ready. Get set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, go, go. And that's it. Looking good. No afterburner necessary on that takeoff, it seems. Fuel going to be contentious within this match, as Cougar and Nail begin their ascent rather, not descent. The F-16 not suffering from the same fuel problems, as there's no jamming in this situation, so bringing along a centerline fuel pod is an option. Though even with just the wing pods, you do carry a lot. As this MiG-29 starts taking off, you'll see the FOD deflectors open up. And there they go. Got to leave enough time for the wake turbulence to clear between takeoffs. Killer Dog and Ram, the last two to take off in their Tomcats. Nice and safe. Good takeoffs for all teams. And it looks like the members of the 51st are, as per usual, taking the opportunity to flex their formation flying skills. Oh, you thought there were only two? Meanwhile, Mad Dog and Stinge are in their own group. Over on the opposite side, we have our battle formation starting. They're sticking largely in the groups that they took off with. Cougar and Nail are lining up to be the tip of the spear, flying at 30,000 feet. Let's see what the Tomcats are getting up to. Not going too high just yet, or too fast. So, seemingly happy to wait for their moment. Meanwhile, the MiG-29s are making their way into the group. And they'll be entering the circle shortly. The MiG-29s in the primary group, heading up to 32,000 feet. Mad Dog and Stinger are at 33, as Red takes control of the battle area. However, Nail and Cougar are racing out to meet them. They're kind of at the front with their teammates. Still quite a decent way behind Ember and their wingman here. Just taking their time. It'll be interesting to see where these guys go when they break. I think it's a bit of both, Fardad. Looks like they're happily accelerating to supersonic now. So they are committing to their attack. In good synchronicity, the current separation, Nail and Cougar are 84 nautical miles away from Mad Dog, and Techneticum's group is 75 nautical, far out of detection range for most of these guys. The F-14's not hurrying. They afterburning? Not yet. So they'll have plenty of fuel to work with here. But the 51st committing to quite a long burn here. And of course dropping their tanks in sync. Passing 40,000 feet. Oh, I forgot to do a poll. We'll do a poll next round. Just put a 1 in chat if you think, in fact, just tell me which team you think is going to win this. 51st PVO or the members of the 28th VNG with their more diverse list of aircraft, a couple of mercenaries. Mad Dog and Stinger also afterburning high up in the sky, 43,000 feet. At this altitude, they only really have 2 long-range Fox 1s, being the R-27 Rs. Ooh, sorry, I just got a big gust of wind in my room. Current separation between the teams is 50 nautical miles. Just give me 1 second. No launches just yet, but it looks like the entire pincer is converging as the first launches come off the wings of the 51st. These R-27s traveling at 1,800 knots. The trick is maintaining the track, though, and this one looks like it may well have lost it. How far? Looks like one of them's trashed, maybe 2. I saw 2 were launched. No more launches just yet, but the F-14s are looking like they're lining up, and they'll have the radars that can reach out that far. Another R-27 launch from B-Spars and Black Pixel, who are now defending down. Missiles detected in the air in both directions. 2 launches from Amber and Elytro as more R-27s are fired in return. Let's see if any of these have potential. This missile is traveling at 1,600 knots. It has loads of energy, but will it keep the track for long enough? It's going for the further target, not the closer one. And it's lost track. No dice. It had loads of potential, though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, DCS has crashed. Are we still here? Okay. Sorry, guys. We've lost DCS. So, we're over on TAC view. So this battle is still happening in real time. What you're seeing is real time as Trout launches an R-27 over towards the VNG group, which is getting pushed down quite low now. But Ram is going to come very close to Technitinium here, only 5 nautical miles away, very much within range. But everyone's flying in the wrong direction to be shooting weapons. And it looks like Killer Dog just C-fitted there. But Ram is right behind Technitinium here. Nail has plenty of targets off his nose. Tech all by himself here. With Ram 3 nautical miles behind, but with plenty of terrain to work with. Nail narrowly dodges a missile fired. An R-27R comes off from Stinger. Looks like this one's going to smash into terrain. Meanwhile, we have Elytro and Trout within 2 nautical miles of each other, but potentially not having the SA to take advantage of it. Ram having to defend against Mad Dog's R-27 here. Technotinium's going to slot in on the back. Ram defending hard here. Nail in trouble with Stinger behind. Mad Dog is pulling in right behind Ram here. Elytro is not close enough to be able to help. But Nail might come over the top here and help Ram. If they have the presence of mind to not shoot at each other, they could mutually support. This is actually quite good. Ram, no launch on Technotinium. Few missiles launching, lots of concern. Nail turns away. Tragic mistake. But Ram narrowly dodges that R60, quite susceptible to flares. Nail manages to get away scot-free from it. Elytro needs to come here and help his friends, as Ram is in so much trouble. Ram takes an R60. We know that the F-14 can survive an R60, but not for long. An R-27, B-Spars gets splashed by Elytro, who's finally found their way back. Ram is still semi-airborne. Nail is right on Trout, who has been caught with their pants down. That is quite close for a P5 shot. No dice. Elytro is still flying, but it looks like Eileen got splashed over here. Let's see if Nail can make anything happen. Oh, the F-14 went down. Elytro is still here. But does Elytro have any weapons to work with here? And does he know that Technotinium's there? And does Technotinium know that he's there? Does anyone know where anyone is? A9P5, also from Nail, misses again. Can't get the angle. Elytro, right behind Stinger here. Technotinium, I think, has realized that that's a bad guy. An R60 comes off towards Stinger. It impacts. Stinger is down. Nail. Still going in. Elytro has an R60 coming in. Elytro gets taken out by Technotinium. Nail finally manages to get some luck here as he turns Trout into debris. It is a 2v2, 1v2 rather. No, the fight isn't over. My DCS crashed. So Nail is following Mad Dog here, and Technotinium's following Nail, with about 3 nautical miles of separation. Does anyone have any weapons left, is the question. Nail, looks like they're closing in for a gunshot here, but gets a door shut on them. Technotinium fires an R60 that gets no track. Nail manages to pull around the center here, and is hot on Mad Dog. Fires, splashes Mad Dog. Launches 2 A9P5s. Oh no, but Technotinium's still up. Come on, man. Technotinium's in the winning position at the moment. But he's a little bit low on speed. Nail is way faster than he is. But can Nail figure out where Technotinium is? Looks to be hopping into the mountains for a bit of deflection here. Technotinium faced with the 50-50 choice now. Did he go live? Did he go left? Did he go right? Nail is absolutely ripping along. I would say undoubtedly has the fuel advantage here. Okay, trying to reconnect to the DCS-7 now. Niall and Technitinium are hunting each other down. Who's going to take the risk? Okay. Looks like Niall may have found him. He's just off his head, right over there. And Niall still has one AIM-9P left. Does Tech have anything? No, Tech has nothing. And probably has no fuel either. Niall confidently burning in here, but misses the gunshot. Still had a missile. No, the missile was off. Now Tech is in the winning spot. And Niall has killed 2 people with the gun already. Oh no, Technitinium goes down. But why? Let's see if we can see what happened. I think Tech was completely out of fuel. Let's have a look. To quote the Star Destroyer captain from Star Wars Rogue One, "We've lost engine power, sir!" Making Niall the winner. That was a come from behind. Let's have a look. So let's look at the adventures of Niall here. So Niall tangles with Stinger here for a while. Almost joins in on the main fight that's happening up here. Fires off a lot of AIM-9P5s that hit a lot of nothing. So has to go splash trout the old-fashioned way. Yeah, 3 AIM-9P5s to no effect. Just says, missiles are too tricky. Why don't I just shoot him? Gets him. Then proceeds on here. Follows around Mad Dog, but has Technitinium coming in from behind. Tragically, this R60, no dice. Mad Dog set up Tech perfectly, but the missile didn't work. And Mad Dog just gets beaten in the raid. And then Tech and Alamo, Tech and Niall fight it out for quite some time. What other fights did we miss? What happened to our F-14s here? So we had Ram and Killer Dog. What happened to Amber here? A wing rip, maybe? Going Mach 1.12 and just evaporates. Okay. Meanwhile, Ram and Killer Dog are tangling over here. Killer Dog, we saw have a C-pit in the background. Going up Mach 1, control surfaces just, yeah, Ripped his wings trying to get out of it, which is very unlucky and easy to do in an F-14A going that fast. The R60 is rear aspect. The R60M is all aspect. And I think they have M's. Yeah, Ram gets into a lot of trouble here, being followed by all sorts. And yeah, eventually takes the R60, which renders his plane inop. So the immaculate formation flying of the 51st, overcome by what some people would describe as chaos, or a lack of situational awareness, or maybe even just luck. Well, hopefully that's not him running out of fuel. How far have we got to go? 48 nautical. He's got his RPMs quite low. Probably just want to climb to a little bit higher up, just in case the engine does give out. Nail, the single survivor of the first match. I'm going to make myself seem stupid here, so I'm just going to Google something. Yes, the Indian Air Force. I knew it. Okay, so 40-ish nautical miles to go, 25-ish thousand feet, and probably a distinct desire to be rather conservative with the fuel. Okay. I think he's probably got this in the bag. If he gets within 25 nautical, I think he'll be fine. Look inside the gun port of an F-16. Whoa, okay. Would prefer if that were not the case. RPMs to 0. He is now 20,000 feet with 20 nautical miles to go. Got this one in the bag, I think. What was it? It was just the N-word ending in an A. Okay, dokie. Coming in for landing now. Niall is pretty well lined up here. Coming in smooth. And easy does it. All the way home. Alrighty. So, that brings us up to 1 for the Vanguards. Let's get that server restarted and get ourselves ready for the next round. If you guys want to grab yourselves a drink or something like that, now is the best time to do it. And we'll get everything restarted now. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright everyone, welcome to round 2. The teams will switch sides. Let's run a poll to see who you're here to support. We'll run that for a healthy 10 minutes. So that means that 28th Vanguards will be starting on the red team, where we saw our familiar MiG-29s. Looks like the lineups are largely the same. Cougar, Amber, and Elytro in MiG-29s, and Niall in the F-16, the hero of the first round. Maybe just leave the AIM-9 P5s at home, mate. You only need the gun. And Ram and Killer in the F-14s. Do either of them have GCIs? We won't be able to tell. The F-14s got a bit unlucky in the first round. I think they were caught out of their element. Meanwhile, the MiG-29s of the 51st starting up. One of the big limitations of the MiG-29 in this environment, and whether or not you think it's a limitation, I think is relative. A relatively narrow field of view for the radar, and some people don't like the way that the radar is displayed and the way that you control antenna direction and elevation. It's quite different to how you might be used to it on Western jets. It's done in blocks, so you can be looking left, forward, or right, and up and down by variance of degrees, but knowing the correct number of degrees to go up and down can be harder than you might think. Of course, you'll see the links in chat for the 51st PVO, but of course if you want to engage with my content, you can hit that follow button down below. You can join in on my Discord, and you can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky. So the 51st is making their way downtown. Meanwhile, no movement just yet from the members of the 28 Squad Vanguards. It looks like one of the members of the 51st may have needed to rejoin. Looks like the 51st will be reporting ready shortly. All 3 bags of fuel end up being used by Niall in the previous match, so those wing bags coming in handy. And I think one of the underrated features of the F-16, beyond many other elements of the F-16, is the way that when the pylons are jettisoned, they leave the wings completely flush. Yeah, it's one of the best fuel tank dropping mechanisms, I think, of any plane. Though I wonder how many spare fuel tanks each base would have. Imagining a hypothetical war scenario where, you know, they're just sorting out for battle constantly. Would they be dropping their tanks constantly, or who knows? Adrian, thank you for the raid. Get a shout out for you. Welcome into SATAC. Oh, what's the result of the poll? The shoutouts. And wait, let me see. How was Gothic? Looks like the 51st PVO are the favourites. No PNG today, no. This is official SATAC business. All right. We just need Twist to get back in position and... Pardon me. And then we'll be good to go. It's all on you, Twist. Get her done. Can hear those engines starting. Won't be long. Looks like another disconnection. Niall dropped out. Twist is nearly back. Let's see how Niall's going. Just getting weaponed up, it looks like. And then off to the runway. Okay, hopefully we can get in the sky soon. '51st report's ready. And I reckon that the 28th will be ready shortly too. No, 51st is not ready. Oh. Okay, after all that refueling, reconnecting, restarting, we should be ready to go shortly. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the changes in teams planning, as no doubt both teams will have come away from the first match with some lessons. Both teams ready. Get set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go. First two MiGs off the rack for the 51st, quickly followed by their comrades. Meanwhile, the F-14's leading the way. And looking good. Okay. Next up will be Elytro and Cougar. In fact, will we see a Shri-Shrik takeoff? Oh, yes, we will. This will be cool. It's got to be careful of those wakes. Well, hopefully that's not one down there. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Oh no, that's a tail strike. Oh, shit. Any damage to VNG Amber? Who scraped along the ground for a second there. And of course, that would have unfortunately been after Wheels Up. So, very lucky to have had gotten away with that one. Hopefully with no major damage. Doesn't appear as if there is any. Ah. Rear vertical stabilizer. Or rather, elevator. Has some damage. That's an unfortunate thing to have before the fight is even started. Will definitely just cause a few quirks in flight dynamics. And potentially affect lift at higher altitudes. Hopefully not, though. Let's go see what the airshow is doing. So, a tight formation of 4, followed by another tight formation of 2. Where's your buddy? It's not like the 51st to have their team members this far apart. Ooh, and here we go. Check that out. An R-27T. So the idea, obviously, that maybe it might be worthwhile to have an infrared long-range missile. Let's see if anyone else brought one. No, Stinger hasn't got one. And then the main formation, so one R-27T. Meanwhile, over on the opposition side, the MiGs, not on this plane. What about on our bruised Amber? No dice, and Nail is off the ground, safe and sound. Nothing quite like DCS to remind you that you need to clean your computer monitor. So RAM leads the way at 21 to 22,000 feet and still climbing a little bit, with a bit of burner dumped on, just for good measure. Though this doesn't look like full afterburner. So just a little bit of added kick. The 51st MiGs are not afterburning just yet. Passing 31,000 feet. It's one thing to fly in formation. It's another to climb in formation. It's just, I can't stop taking pictures, to be honest. It's so much fun. So, once again, the 51st are the first in the battle zone. However, the Reds have just joined in on the party. The F-14s passing through 30,000 feet now. Not having the powerful engines of the Bravo stings when you get up to high altitudes like this. You have to pour a lot of fuel on to get it to cooperate. I wonder if we'll see the 51st go into burner shortly. Around about when they did it last round. I apologise for being just a little bit quieter than usual today. Got a little bit of a headache, so I'm just trying to keep focused, and there they go. The afterburners are just about starting. No one is pushing too hard just yet. Current separation is 70 nautical miles. The F-14s will be able to get lock at this range, but the Su-27s won't just yet, so there is a bit of a visibility advantage here. You can see the contrails off in the far distance of the larger group of the members of the 28th. Bittersweet, of course, with Amber having a damaged tail from takeoff, but that's just the risk you take. '51st still progressing up to 26,000 feet. Thank you for the follow, Freshwater Plimpy. They are now 55 nautical miles away from each other. I think after Technitinium got stung on fuel in the first round, I think they regretted that very long afterburn that they did at the start of the round. So I think they're waiting much longer now before they dump on fuel, though that may also have something to do with the part of the map that they want to be fighting over. And they'll be aware, of course, with them coming from Mozdok, that they'll be less inclined to end up in amongst these mountains, which I think is what they're avoiding, or at least trying to avoid. They'd much prefer and fight them on the relatively flatter ground that is north of the mountainous terrain. And we see the burners come on as they separate out. So two groups of two separating out here. Looks like Black Pixel and B-Spars are heading for the mountains. And Trout and Tectitinium are going to be leading the fight as they close in within 30 nautical miles, and the main group of MiGs from the 28th breaks away from the mountains. Let's see how Trout and Tech go here. Who will be the first to fire? Probably both at the same time. Alright. Tech elects to defend without shooting. Is Trout going to go for it? No shot from Trout. As the first of the AIM-7s is coming in, Trout must avoid flying right into this, but it doesn't look like it's guided by anything. Trout and Technitinium going defensive now. Black Pixel and B-Spars have took over and are now chasing up after the F-14, still at high altitude. Very high, very fast. This AIM-7 not tracking anything, as Trout fires the first of the R-27s for the 51st. Not a hugely long-range shot towards Mad Dog, who's got to be careful here. He can afford to guide this missile as best he can all the way in, doesn't need to defend, has no threats against him. But this missile's slowing down 950 knots, and is quickly going to outlast its effectiveness. R-27's going in all directions now, a huge volley of 3 in one direction and 3 in return. Who's going to keep their locks going? Looks like B-Spars has 2 on them, and is electing to defend hard, the right choice. This R-27 not tracking anything. This R-27 tracking the ground. No dice. This one, any info? Nothing coming to you. So, looks like Nail is pushing the attack here a little bit, but is elected to go down low. Nail and Trout are not far away from each other. Trout, in fact, in prime position. And Trout managed to just take out Elytro with an R-27R. I didn't see that. We'll check that on the TAC view. Twist fires an R-27 at kill a dog, but has Nail underneath him. Will any of these missiles have the legs? The defense doesn't work, and down he goes. Nail managing to not press the attack here. Twist, right in the midst of everyone, has an F-14 right behind him. But is anyone going to have the presence of mind to catch that lock? So Twist takes out Killer Dog. And Black Pixel just went down. Potentially a C-Fit. Twist here with an AIM-7 right behind. Looks like it's going for the train. But could definitely have threatened him. R-27's going in both directions now. Anything guiding this? Doesn't seem to be the case. Twist with Ram right behind him. Is going to have a hard time getting away. AIM-7 comes off. Should have plenty of energy. But misses unfathomably. We're right on a merge now. F-14 merged with MiG. Both going super, super fast. Meanwhile, B-Spars is right behind Cougar here. Meanwhile, this dogfight continues. Looks like the MiG-29 is defensive. Trout looking like they're going to come nose to nose with Nail. Missile comes off the rails towards the 29 and misses. Nail and Trout merge with each other, but nothing happens. Ram. This dogfight's lasting a long time. No one's got the upper hand just yet, but Cougar has B-Spars right behind him, firing R-60s. But he's absolutely hauling ass. Cougar's got another R-60 coming in. This one impacts, and he is on fire. Meanwhile, Ram is still fighting tooth and nail. Twist overextends and becomes part of the terrain. That's a maneuver kill. B-Spars and Trout, do they know that... oh, this is a bad place for an F-14, out of energy and out of position. But only R-60s for Trout. These are very defendable missiles with flares. But that one does actually impact. Ooh, I can't believe that didn't go for flares. Ram losing both engines, not dead yet, but close to it. Nail in close quarters with Stinger. Amber fires off something at someone. Amber appears to fire an R-60 at Ram. And then fires another R-60 towards an unsuspecting 51st PVO member. It does hit, but does not kill. The R-60 has a very small warhead, infamous for not killing. Trout needs to go take down Amber so his buddy doesn't die. Amber needs to countermeasure this. Amber launches an R-60 and gets hit themselves, but isn't dead just yet. And it looks like Stinger has managed to take down Nail. Amber is the last surviving member in close combat, surrounded by enemies and on fire. And still with a fuel tank on. Everything looks bad. And another R-60 finishes it off. Looks like the 51st PVO manages to squeeze this one away. Let's see what we missed. So, firstly, let's see what Nail eventually got done in by. Okay, so Stinger comes along here. On the heels of Nail. and R60 comes off. No countermeasures from Niall, and that's all she wrote. What happened to Cougar? So Cougar came over here to help Ram, but was pursued hotly by B-Spars. One R60 didn't have the legs, the second R60 did, and that is enough damage for that plane to eventually disintegrate. A little bit of gunfire does help the thing along a little bit. MiG-29 gun kill. Not as easy to do as you might think. So that was the end of Cougar. What happened to Amber here? Amber fires an R60 at B-Spars, which does impact. Yes, they do have to land back to secure the win. Amber manages to get on Trout, but is too damaged to fire anything, and gets finished off. What happened to Killer Dog? Killer Dog got caught a little bit high, and splashed by an R27 from Twist. Very long-range shot. Look at that thing. Oh, it was the second one that had the legs to actually make it. Bad luck. Now, they are in MiG-29s, and they have a ways to go, so we'll see what happens. Any of the jets damaged? Yes, this one. B-Spars took a R60, and as a result is a little bit hurt. Though it doesn't appear to be leaking anything, which is a spot of luck. So B-Spars with the wounded wing. Meanwhile, Finger is comfortable enough in this fuel state to fly up to 44,000 feet and afterburn up there. Must have plenty left on board. One I-60 left to go. And Technitinium only getting to fire one missile that match, actually. Kraut's looking good. How is B-Spar looking? Are both engines spinning? That's a good question. The right engine might be destroyed. Okay, looks like both are on. Incredibly. He's flying Mach 2. Yeah, he's going at quite a lot of fasts. Yeah, Stinger is at Mach 2.3. I wonder if B-Spars is diverting to Gudata. It certainly looks like it. And in fact, I'm hearing power loss gradually. We may need to roll the trucks for B-Spars. Meanwhile, Stinger is speedrunning the return leg. Still up at a bajillion feet, but can see the runway. You can see it just over his shoulder, right ahead. My one wish for this match is for it to be a good one, and for it not to go so long that it gets too late for me to order a pizza, because I am... I don't know, pizza or something else? What do you think? I open this to the floor. succulent Chinese meal. What is the charge? Eating a meal? Oh, bee spars are still flying. As an Italian, I must say pizza. I'm already 90% convinced it's going to be pizza. Man, I'm messing up my camera controls. Steak medium rare and a baked potato. This is very smooth for a MiG-29 landing. They're usually a lot more chaotic than this. But will we get parachute action? Probably not, because no one else except me uses parachutes. But that secures round 2 for the 51st PVO. Well, hello, Ratbat, how are you? There we go. Easiest VIP of my life. Meanwhile, B-Spars in the burnt out bird is looking to make their way back. A couple of wounded birds making it back in this round 2, best of 5, 1 all. It means there's at least 2 matches left to go. Nice air brake detail. No, there are still a few more landings left to go. Yep, this guy took a R60M and is a little bit ripped up, but has made it back alive. Nothing that the crew chiefs can't fix. And his teammate is coming in right behind. And down and locked. Safe and sound. Tech. With only Trout left to go. Probably having to be a bit conservative on fuel, but has the runway in sight. In fact, Trout's RPMs are at 10%. I think he's out of fuel. I think this is a plane with no juice. Look away, Rat-Bat. I know how you get about intakes. That looks like a not working plane. What do you think? Is he going to make it? Vote on your phones now. We can do some calculations. Let's see. 14 nautical miles, 16,000 feet of altitude. The MiG-29 should be able to convert that into something usable, but with that being said, if you don't manage your speed carefully, you can end up in the fucky-wucky dimension. Looks like he's got all the energy. Stinger left the stove on. Perfect. And safe. That's enough for us to restart. And there we go. Alright guys, we're going to be moving on to round 3. Now is the best chance you'll have to go stand up and do PP time, and we'll be back in just 1 minute. And we are back. Watching this is like watching a guy jangling keys in front of me. I can only imagine what that means. In fact, I can barely fathom what that means. Okay, we have a big line of MiGs. Looks like we've got one left to come. Meanwhile, over on the blue team, Niall, Ram, Killer Dog, Cougar, and Elytro. The F-14's looking good. All right. Elytro, Amber, and Cougar potentially going to have to be a little bit more careful on this takeoff after the foible of the second round. Just turn off SRS. Tomcat. Who's your favorite in this lineup? You a MiG-29 fan? I mean, these are F-14As. Look, they got their tight little puckers down here. It's just a Rio in the back. The Rio, I don't believe, has any flight controls. So, yeah, no, the Rio has no flight controls. He's just along for the ride. Hey, Dave GT, how are you? We have the F-16 relatively little in all of this. Just a little small boy. Little small airplane boy. Oh, wiggly squiggly. Don't make you pick. Alright, I won't. Alright, so the 28th is making their way downtown. Meanwhile, all the MiGs are probably going to start their engines at the same time. They love doing things in synchronicity. Don't forget, guys, that if you like the stream, you can hit the follow button down below. There's also my socials, including my Twitter and Discord, that you are more than welcome to join. Ah, they're just waiting for their 6th, of course. And there he is. They look like rocket ships when they're lined up like this. Okay. Looks like the 51st is just about lined up. So double check that 28th is all good. Both teams ready. Get set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, go, go. And straight off the gate, they're afterburning this time, so looks like it's a bit more of an enthusiastic start. F-14's up. Rio made direct eye contact with me. Alright, more conservative takeoffs this time. Let's watch the F-16 of slightly to nail. Perfect. And all of the members of the 51st PVO are all up and safe too. Looking good. So everyone's off the ground and we are looking good. The F-14s are in formation with each other. So it looks like the members of the 51st PVO have kind of been sticking to their two groups, one of 4, one of 2. And the group of 4 can separate out into their own 2. Looking good in the sky. And it looks like the 51st have already found their formation. And we can see them gradually climbing up. But plenty of distance to cover, with their adversaries all the way in the deep, dark blue. Looking good. And it looks like we're getting a close formation from the members of the 28th. Looks like they're all bunching up. I mean, any excuse to show off, you know? Looks like it's a big wing coming in like an ace combat team. Strength in numbers. Unity is strength in this instance. Meanwhile, the fearsome uniform MiG-29s are preparing for the trouble that is to come. Let's do a quick poll. Who do you think's going to take this round? You'll have a few minutes to vote on that. Keen to know what your attitude is. No one's entering the circle just yet, but the red team is getting close. With only 10 nautical miles to go, which in a Cessna 172 takes much longer than you think. Can you tell I've been playing a lot of Microsoft Flight Simulator? I mean, I hate to self-promote, but if you guys like aviation content, I do all kinds of aviation content. But recently I've been playing a little bit of Stalker, and I've been doing the career mode of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, which is very good fun when it works, which it doesn't most of the time. So, Killer Dog, Cougar, Ram, Elytro, Amber, and Nail are looking good. 28th is the one with the F-14s. The 51st PVO is only flying the MiG-29. Absolutely ripping through the sky. Red are the first to enter the circle, but blue is seconds away. Let's have a look. I mean, I hate to spend too much time focusing on the 51st PVO's formation flying, but it's such a treat. It almost looks like you could walk from the wings of one MiG-29 to the other and it wouldn't even be tricky. If you assume that the airshow is a frictionless sphere. Just never get tired of it. Genuinely never ever get tired of it. So, they're currently cruising at about 80 nautical miles away from each other. The formation of the members of The 28th is loose, but is concentrated in one area, which it hasn't been up until now, so it'll be interesting to see. Meanwhile, in the Reds, they're getting very good contrail spreadage. Time to separate out into battle formation. It looks like the 51st PVO are the favourites. Formation spreads for the members of the 51st, and of course helped by their friends, the 100th. Okay, Cougar's leading the way. Just under 40 nautical miles away from the nearest bad guy. We'll start picking them up on radar. Sound barriers, merely a suggestion, and Elytro fires an early R27. What was the range on that? 20 nautical miles, that's a very ambitious shot. Even just maintaining the lock on the radar is difficult, and you can see the exact moment that that missile went dumb. That missile's not been in the air long enough to have any real effect. This one's still getting guidance, but it looks like it just went stupid just then. What about this one from Cougar? Still tracking. Looks like it's going for B-spars. Cougar is pressing, but has an R27 heading for him. Is it tracking? Negative. Oh, this missile has potential. Has potential. Comes within inches, but just misses. B-spars. Cougar's in a bad spot now. R27's going in all directions here. But which ones are being guided? This one has guidance. But is it going to find its prey? No, loses track. Cougar is going defensive quite quickly, as you would well imagine. Getting out of there fast. Elytro is going to be cresting the hill here with a nice flank on most of the baddies. Oh, and Trout takes one out in close quarters as you see the wreckage go beneath them. Trout manages to score the first kill, splashing Ram in his F-14. Ram's had a tough time of it so far. Killer Dog chasing down Technotinium now. A missile comes off the rails towards the MiG-29 that's turning right into it and takes it straight to the face. Impact. And Trout goes down, taken out by Cougar. And you see his flaming wreck. But there's a baddie right behind him. Carly coming in with the weapons to gain vengeance. And one comes off the rails there. Two comes off the rails. His opponent defending hard. Neither missile impacts. Gets away, and that's a merge. Carly and Colt are matched up. Meanwhile, Stinger is right next to his comrade here, chasing down Killer Dog, who's chasing down Neticum in return. An AIM 9 comes off the rails, but this looks like it might be guiding on the wrong person, or guiding on no one at all. It might have just found Carly, actually, incredibly. Technitinium narrowly dodges the missile on his way, and the second F-14 goes down. But Carly's going to have a tough time getting away from this impact. We now have Amber facing off against Tech, head-to-head, cheek-to-cheek, not firing. Fires a missile at close range, R60 off the wings, hits Tech. Tech is on fire and is going for the dirt. Impact. But he has plenty of more opponents. Meanwhile, big merge coming on here, R60's coming off the wings, fires one at close range. It impacts, takes down Cougar, who's going to be going down. Amber and Spars merge very close. Amber going to have to deal with the fact that Stinger is still around here. Black Pixel pulls in on Cougar, who is smoking, launches another missile just to secure the kill, but it misses. Launched within the engagement zone. Nail needs to turn around and help his buddy here. Has vision, but can he pull hard enough? Dumps all his energy. Surely must have a lock here. But no launch. Meanwhile, Spars and Amber are just in the deadly merge. Amber had managed to take out Technitinium with an R60. This is a pure rate fight between two MiG-29s. Nail chasing down Black Pixel here, who's on the opposite side of the mountain. Needs to be careful here. Cougar is taking some time to get away, because they are badly damaged and smoking. Amber. Looks like they're pulling on the tail. But have they got the missiles? It's down to guns. Guns are firing. Getting close. Come on. Finish him off. No. Doesn't manage to secure it. No luck so far. Black Pixel chasing down Cougar, but has an eel behind him. Two MiGs, but only guns left. He's got a baddie coming in behind him. Missile comes out. Impacts. Amber gets splashed by the wingman Stinger. Cougar is effectively out of this fight. Has missiles left, but probably doesn't have any kind of working radar left. So it all falls on Nail, but Nail has already come back from a 1v3. The question is, can Cougar stay up? Cougar has one functional engine and is leaking everywhere. Okay. Nail finds Stinger. Has 4 AIM-9Ls. P5s, rather. But where does he... what is he doing? Stinger's right there. Even dropping flares to help you see him. Decides not to go in for him. Instead is electing for Black Pixel. Head to head. AIM-9 P5 comes off the rails. Countermeasures coming out. The missile goes bad. Impact on Nail, and it looks like that was a pilot kill. Nail is not long for this world. Which means that Cougar's the last one left. And the engine that he has got working is running down now. Sounds like it's dying. I think Cougar just needs to bite the bullet. I don't think there's any coming back from this. And whatever he's leaking is eventually going to run out. The mortally wounded Cougar still somehow managing to stay up here. Do they have any idea where he is? No, I don't think so. But he's going to run out of space eventually. These are the semi-finals. People will do anything it takes. But even this, I think, is a fool's errand. I don't think there's anything this plane list has to offer. Yeah, definitely a lost cause. Maybe if there was one hostile plane remaining, but there's 3. It looks like B-Spars actually took a missile here, so it's probably running damaged. If I were them, I would start gravitating towards their airfield. Oh no, Stinger has lost connection. So Black Pixel is going to be the one it falls on here. No one's won just yet. Stinger lost connection, so it's a 2v1, but Cougar I don't think is going to make it out of this. Black Pixel, I think, should start heading home. B-Spars is already heading home. With all that damage. I'm amazed that whatever's leaking out of Cougar's plane hasn't run out yet. Is he going to have enough to get over this hill? He might not, actually. This might be all she wrote. Oh, he had just enough. Cougar's happy to keep doing what he's doing. Black Spars is just cruising at the moment. Black Pixel is hunting, but it's going to be very difficult to find Cougar throughout here. Cougar not helped by the fact that he's trailing a huge plume of smoke. Still flying. Somehow. This is becoming a fuel fight. Black Pixel's got to be very careful here. Black Pixel running at 80% throttle. The absolute bare minimum to keep up in the air. Hey, what are you doing here, Twist? You're not supposed to be here. You better not be passing on any information to your teammates. Never give up. Never surrender. If the round is a draw, do they do another match? It's a best of 5, so whichever team makes it to 3 first is the winner, or whoever scores the most. Black Pixel is hunting around for him. B-Spars has been clearly given the order to stay out. Is Cougar gonna have the energy to crest this hill? What has Cougar got ahead of him? Your reserve muted with a cup of tea. Cup of tea sounds great. I'd love a coffee, actually. Uh-oh. Are you going to be able to make it over the hill, Cougar? Oh, this smells like it might be it. This feels like a big mistake. I don't think he's got the legs. Oh! Oh! Oh, Jesus Christ. You gonna actually make it? Oh, no. But he might become visible to AWACS if he pops up here. Uh-oh. This almost... Ooh, God. Black Pixel has finally located him, I think. The Cougar might actually finish himself off here. He smells like he's in a death spiral. He's just edging the stall speed at the moment. It's not what you want to have in front of you. Meanwhile, Black Pixel's getting closer. No weapons, though. And B-Spars is circling around the exit. Oh, God. He's dipped himself into a valley again. Black Pixel is 9 nautical miles away, running on minimum engine. And actually, if he tilted down right now, he'd be able to see him. You can see his smoke trail just off his nose down here. Yeah. You gotta see him right. He's right down there. He's even got a smoke trail. Don't let this happen. Do not let this happen. Please do not let this happen. Don't tell me his avionics still work. Oh, they do! Oh, he launches an R60, but no dice. Oh, he might be firing the R60s in just blank mode. Now it all falls on Black Pixel not to mess this up. Probably sipping on the last drips of fuel that they've got. Oh, and he gets dealt with by a cannon shot. That's all she wrote. Deader than disco. Let's have a look at what we missed. Seems so long ago. Okay, the MiGs of the 51st, they break up into their tactical line. R-27's launched in pretty long range from the start. None of them posed an enormous threat. Lots of trading back and forth. Not much we didn't see. We saw Killer Dog chasing down Technitinium here, but Technitinium had all of his friends coming to help. And Amber, who was chasing along behind, suddenly came face to face. An excellent shot that was missed here. No, Tech gets hit and taken out, but now has 2 planes to deal with here. Amber comes around, launches a close range M60, but it hits B-Spars. That's the missile that damaged B-Spars, who is still flying at the moment. These R-60s, they have small warheads. Amber goes down to guns, and looks like Amber might get... Yeah, Amber takes an R-60 here and goes down. Nail, I feel like, lost a good number of opportunities here, especially Stinger passing in front. I get a feeling that Nail was probably hard-locked on one of these two, and didn't even notice Stinger was passing underneath him. The AIM 9 P5, the first one doesn't work. The second one, oh, here we go. This is something that happens sometimes. So, if you fire a missile, like this AIM 9 P5, and the R60 explodes the plane as it's launching, the missile will get destroyed sympathetically in the explosion. So B-Spars is going to be the one that falls on to make it back home. Another wrecked MiG-29 coming back. B-Spars at 22,000 feet. That's 45 nautical miles to go. And only one functional engine. Appears to be the left one. The left engine appears to get off scot-free in these engagements, whereas the right engine seems to take the brunt of it. Makes sense with the damage that you can see. It's all focused around the right-hand side. Okay. So, we'll restart so long as B-Spars comes back. Easier said than done, but fortunately not leaking anything, which does help things along a little bit. Runway inside. This will be round 2 for the 51st PVO. Let's just check and see. Oh, it's all on B spars. What happened to Black Pixel? Oh, Black Pixel did not have the juice to make it home. Another happy landing. Wheels down. B-spars. Oh, we're B-spars. Ooh, this is bad. B-spars is missing the front wheel. So this is going to be a tricky landing. He's going to want to nail this right down centerline, or else he's going to have no control. You know, you got to get this right down the middle. Now is the time you need to use a parachute. But if it collapses, you might be in trouble. You're going to want to drop that chute, dude. Ooh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's fantastic, actually. This wounded MiG-29. Making it home. Unbelievably. We'll restart. Mission will be restarted now. Okay, guys, time to stand up. Time to get yourselves something to eat, something to drink. I myself am pretty hungry, but it is not yet pizza time for me. Oh, and it's getting late as well. All right, that round is secured by the 51st. We are progressing on to round number 4. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back, guys, into round 3. The sides have switched again. We have our MiGs looking good, and then further up the line, the F-16s and F-16 and F-14s for the members of the 28th Squadron Vanguards. Let's do a poll. We'll give it 10 minutes. You can vote on your screens now regarding round 3. The first PVO or 28 Squadron Vanguards. I want to know what you think. Oh, I wouldn't dream of a barrel roll. It's too serious for barrel rolls. Meanwhile, our MiGs, all 6, Trout, Technitinium, Black Pixel, B-Spars, Stinger, and Carly are all lined up here. Oh my god, hey! Barrel Zatra. Oh yeah, VIAF are going down as well. What's VIAF doing? Once again, for the 28th VNG, we have Ram, Killer Dog, Nail, Elytro, Amber, and Cougar. Looking good. F-14s are starting to move. They look like twin brothers that got separated at birth. Okay. They lost a Litro, so they're only 5. This is one of my personal favorite shots whenever I can do it. Looks like its engine's off for the 51st right at the moment. Looks like the Vanguards are the favourites for round 3. Okay. Python is the one we're waiting on. Just needs weapons on, engines on, and then things should go smooth as. All right, how is everyone on the 51st side looking? It's all right, Elytro. I know these are big matches. Okay, round has started. I've been trying to work on making the camera angles a bit more interesting. I hope that that the viewing experience has been good fun. Gives you a little bit more to look at. That's everyone up from the 28th. Meanwhile, Carly and Stinger are the last ones up for the 51st. The telltale black smoke trails of MiG-29s. I don't actually know what causes the black smoke trail. Is it unburnt fuel? Because when you afterburn, it goes away. So I assume it's some kind of debris or smoke that's coming from the inefficiency of the engines. But I don't actually know. I guess diesel engines, when they're turning hard, smoke too, so there's got to be some reason for it. Viewing experience and commentary are gold. Well, thank you very much. Such good formation flying. Okay, meanwhile, looks like the MiG-29s are forming into their own group with the 28th, but the F-14s are leading the way with Nail in the back. Russian fuel isn't processed as much, so it's burnt unclean. The only reason I doubt that is, well, not doubt, but the only reason I question that is because the JF-17 engine smokes as well. Can't believe they haven't hit each other. I know I would. Meanwhile, it looks like for the first time in this match so far, the Reds are actually going to, Whoa, hold on. Something's gone wrong here. I can't put my finger on it, but, one of these planes is not like the other. That's gotta hurt. So, the red team takes control of the battle area, but the blue team is following shortly on. That's going to be a bittersweet moment, I think, because this really matters, and this is going to hurt. Nail, after an excellent first round, having a tough time. Current separation is 80 nautical miles. Ram is leading the way, hasn't got his gear down. Killer Dog is in a tough spot. Sidewinders should work, but no Sparrows. Yeah, that's going to sting really badly. Already ditched his tanks as well, so he's going to be low on fuel. Hopefully they can manipulate this situation to something into their advantage. Just push hard with the F-14A in a way that they don't expect. But is there anything that the 51st can't expect? Okay, so the members of the 51st are doing their combat spread. Ram is leading the way. Let's see if we get a shot somewhere soon here. He can see all of his opponents ahead of him. The contrails are definitely visible. But at any of them in shootable distance, there goes an AIM-7. The first of the match launched at 25 nautical miles at high altitude. It does have potential if that lock can be maintained. like this Sparrow might have just gone dumb. Still getting radar missions? No. Looks like Ram's gone totally cold and totally low. And did Killer Dog manage to launch an AIM-7? Killer Dog, even with his wheels down, managed to launch an AIM-7. That's going to be acting usefully as a distraction, if nothing else. Just get their radar warning receivers going, pinging away. But it doesn't appear to have worked. The members of the 51st are still pushing their attack, and they do not appear overly concerned. R27 coming off the wings here from Black Pixel. This missile with plenty of potential. Missiles going in all directions here. If this is going for Trout, it has potential. But it has no guidance, so it's just going stupid. The amount of missiles you see crisscrossing the sky that are no longer getting radar information, despite the fact that they're still very deadly, it's a bittersweet moment. You're like, if only you had committed, it would still be going. You could have got a kill. Of course, it's not that easy. Missiles continuing to crisscross the sky. No impact so far. 2 missiles coming in towards what looks like Technitinium. Tech might have been caught out at too high an altitude here. Watch out, you can just see him just over the right-hand shoulder of the missile. Tech's going to have a hard time to get away from this one. Tech, come on, come on, come on, come on. Dodges it by centimeters. Unbelievable. Cougar very unlucky there. And now with 2 missiles going on his 6, goes defensive pretty hard. No need for countermeasures, I guess. Trout, caught in the middle of things. No dice. They are all very close to each other. Trout and Cougar are only 3 nautical miles away from each other. Python finds a target for an R27. Has it got something to hit? Looks like it's no bingo on that one. Stinger enters in close range and sees people crisscrossing everywhere. Amber manages to take someone down. Stinger is now in the middle of the Hornet's nest. He's surrounded on all sides by bad guys. Trout is down. An R27 going out towards Python. Python may not be lucky enough to get away from this one. Python gets exploded. Python's down. No dice. Stinger is still in the middle of everything. Surrounded by people. He's got 2 planes ahead of him. No bingo so far. B-Spars is heading in. Completely surrounded by aircraft. Missiles going everywhere. Manages to countermeasure all kinds of stuff here. This is just a huge churn. Missile impacts on Stinger, but no dice. It doesn't kill him. Technitinium fires towards Killer Dog, who's got his landing gear out. Launches a missile in response. Gets hit. Killer Dog is going down. Impact. No dice. And I may have just crashed my DCS. Yes, I have. Going over TAC view. Okay, DCS crashed again. We have Ram slotting on behind of Technitinium. This match is looking difficult. Black Pixel's right behind an AIM-7 from Ram going towards Tech. Manages to impact. Tech gets splashed. An R27 comes off Black Pixel towards Ram. Ram gets splashed. Stinger. Looks like a parachutist comes out of Stinger. So, no dice. It is a 3v3. Carly, deep involved in battle with Amber. But who can pull their plane the hardest? Now, 60. It's got to turn really hard. Impacts Amber, who is probably badly damaged now. Cougar is right behind Black Pixel. An R60 off Carly. Misses Amber, who dumps countermeasures. Cougar is right behind Black Pixel. Another R27 comes off towards Amber, who's never going to get away from that. Amber gets splashed. Cougar right in the thick of things. It's Nail and Cougar facing off against Black Pixel and Carly. Looks like Carly has figured out that Cougar is right ahead. Black Pixel I don't think is a factor just yet. Needs to turn back in. Preferably to engage Nail. Okay, Carly is pulling in. Manages to see Cougar here. Trying to pull some kind of shot on him. Gunfires, takes down Carly. Carly manages to get one with guns, and it's a trade between Black Pixel and Nail. Both of them fire missiles, an R60 and an AIM-9 coming towards each other. Oh, no way! It's an impact in midair! Both of them launching AIM-9Ps and R60s at the last second, and introducing themselves with a handshake. Both planes exploded into nothingness. No way. It ends with a head-on collision. Looks like Carly is RTB. Let's get DCS relaunched. Hopefully Carly's got the fuel to make it back. So what did Carly manage to get done here? Carly, I think, the hero here for the 51st. Let's have a look from the cockpit. Managing to R60 one of the baddies. Amber gets so lucky dodging that last R60. The flare's totally spooking it. Good choice to switch over to the R27. You need to confirm this kill. Amber gets splashed. But this merge with Cougar is just beautiful. Sorry for the DCS crashes, guys, but as anyone who plays DCS will know, sometimes they happen. But just a beautiful guns kill. As your friend becomes the missile. Okay. Carly's making it back. Missiles in tow. Now imagine the pressure to make it back here now. Your entire team's hopes and dreams, they rest on you. Have you got the fuel to make it back? And is this the one landing that you make a mistake on? Alright, let's try some interviews. So, we're going to hop into the 51st PVO Discord, and we're going to go into the interview channel. And, actually, we might wait for the landing, because the landing isn't confirmed. Okay, probably one of the most high-pressure landings so far. Has Carly got what it takes to end up on the ground? Okay, down and safe. That secures it for the members of the 51st PVO. In a thrilling fourth round. They did very well. And a very, very heroic performance from Carly. Tremendous flying. Excellent work. All right, let's see if anyone wants to talk with me. While we have a look at the match that just happened. Let's see if anyone wants to chat as we have a look at the battle results. I did love this this formation that they broke into. Okay, it looks like we have Mad Dog, Stinger, and Carly from the 51st PVO. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastically, thank you very much. How are you guys feeling after the win?
I'm more relieved, honestly, I'd say.
It was intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. BP was high. Super high.
Tell me why. Obviously, this is a semi-final, but you're facing off against the 28th Squadron Vanguards. Are you familiar with this team at all? Have you studied them? Do you know much about them?
Like, if you don't mind, I'd like to take over this question. So, I used to fly for them, and I was part of 28 for a very long time. And to be very fair, this whole fight I've been GCIing, and I'm a cadet, so it's very, very new for me, the whole GCI, and I'm very, very new to this, and it's my first tournament. So the pressure was on me as well. And being with 28, I always have a soft corner for them. So it was kind of like heartbreaking for me to, watch them get out of the knockouts. But at the same time, it's my first time flying for 51st in a tournament, and Stinger, Kali, Teg, everyone's been very supportive. So yeah, and one thing I know for sure, that as much as I know them, they did not do what I'm very used to do. So 28 did a very, very different approach in the fight today.
Yes, and absolutely. In fact, the Cold War scenario introduces some interesting challenges, particularly if you're working as a GCI. What did you guys think of the Cold War scenario compared to what you might be used to in more modern tournaments? What did you do differently? And what worked and what didn't work compared to what would work in the modern era?
Well, there's a few things. There's a lot less SA. And yes, we fly with, in final rounds of actual SATAC, we also fly with our data links. But at least we know where friendlies are, roughly. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and also, you know, like if you fly on contention and then you jump on the growling, it feels so much more peaceful in the sense that it's I'm more used to engaging at 60 or 70 and then thinking of a second shot and so on and so forth. Here, your first shot, and then they could be underneath you, they could be next to you, they could be 15 clicks away. It's very intense, very different.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You can't really work down like many things, like many possibilities where they could be. So that's that.
Yeah.
And in preparation for this tournament, did you guys spend any time practicing kind of Cold War specific skills? I'm thinking of things like lower effectiveness heat seekers and things like going for guns that happens in Cold War. Did you train for that?
Well, that's basically what. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Like what you mentioned. So I would guess, you know, just a regular 1v1s here and there, 2v2s, server flying with SATAC loadout with our 60Ms. Yeah, that's the main difference here. Here it's almost like Enigma with the MiG-21. You always expect to go for guns or have a bandit 3 kilometers away from you, something really close.
Absolutely. And thinking about the battle now that you've had it, if you were to prepare yourselves differently for the match, if you had unlimited time and you could practice anything you want, what would be the one thing that you would spend the most time focusing on to get prepared for a battle like this in the semi-finals?
I would get Mad Dog, GCI, and practice maybe 2v2 in the merge, like in a close range. Mountains, flat terrain, and just to get a feel for GCI as well. I think that makes a big difference here.
Absolutely. And it's interesting that you mention practicing things like 2v2 merges. That as flight simulation pilots is one of those things that we don't do all that often. But in competitions like this, where things get very close, it is often the team that can communicate better that actually manages to cinch the win.
Yep, that's it. That's how it is.
Well, it doesn't look like we have any members of the 28th joining us, so for those of you in the 51st, congratulations on the win. If there's any shout-outs you'd like to make or anything you'd like to say, please go ahead. The stage is yours.
Yep. Thanks 28th for the match. Thanks Airshow for streaming. And oh, by the way, on the way back on round 2, I hit Mach 2.1 while RTBing. I don't know if you spotted it.
I did see. I think actually it peaked at Mach 2.04.
You did? Okay.
2.1, yeah. So yeah, not bad. In fact, I need to sneak in a personal question. Fuel problems in the MiG-29. What's that all about? What do you think of the fuel in the MiG-29?
Fuel is what really helps at that little gauge above the fuel gauge that shows you predicted range. And with the 29, so you can go half gate, quarter gate when using afterburner. So, and also you don't need to go mil power when you're climbing. So it's better if your altitude is low and you're in full afterburner. But yeah, if you it just once you get a hang of it, it's actually not too bad. The only reason I actually went that fast on the way back just because I had so much fuel.
No, absolutely. Oh, it's fantastic. Well, congratulations, guys. Great fight. Well done. And I hope that you guys have wonderful luck in the matches to come. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Airshow.
All right, thank you. All right, guys, that's as far as we go today. the 51st PVO manages to secure round 4 and the victory for this SATAC match. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for all of the good fun. Tomorrow, there'll be another SATAC match that'll be hosted by Banana. Actually, let me see if I can find Banana's Twitch channel so I can shout them out. Oh, he hasn't got a link to his Discord profile. Oh, come on, Banana. Okay, well, make sure that you follow the links that have been posted in chat for the 51st PVO so that you get notice when the next match is going to be happening. Otherwise, thank you guys very much for the company today. Please take good care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all much later, all right? Big love, and bye-bye-bye. See ya!